So here we are on the Lance Wallnau Show YouTube channel, which is a very good name for it, because it is a show. This is a TV show. So a couple weeks ago, I was just looking around, and you could probably pick any of these videos and find something really crazy. But this one stood out to me. A new brand of martyr, Russel Brand. So that's what this video is about. And sometimes I feel like I'm getting redundant, because how many ways and how many different, people do you have to show that are yoking up and just completely pushing you toward the new age? And that's what he does in this video. This is not about, it's not really about Russel Brand's recent issues to me, but I've seen Russel Brand speak. And I know that he can say things that if you're frustrated with the world situation, he might say things that you would be like, yeah, I don't totally agree with what he's saying. And that's it. That's where they get you right there. Because he's saying a lot of things that you might agree with or feel like I can relate to that, this tyranny and blah, 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 whatever. But where he's coming from spiritually is satanic. And Lance wants you to go watch him, listen to him, and etc. And that's messed up.
Knew it was going to happen. He's gotten into the jaws of the machine. Where is it? It's the shark now. It's trying to destroy Russell. You know why? He was messing with the wrong power structure. He was a bit like Tucker. He went a little too far. If it's not, or it's the pharmacies, or it's this or that. Russell got himself in trouble. I want to cover this with you because I've got some information on this, and I want to stand with Russell because these guys are coming over. Red Rover, 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 Red Rover. And I want to say this right now. If you're tired of having, and it's so obvious that the game is being fixed. They're trying to take Russell, they demonetized Russel Brand off of YouTube. Now they're going after Rumble and say, we want him off of Rumble too. In the UK, they're demanding that he comes off completely. Well, you're going to have to respond. You got to push back like a patriot. This is your Lexington Concord moment. You need to go to lancewallnau.com/public square, public SQ. Why? You're going to do business with people that share your values. And you're going to eschew the people that are using your money to fight you and destroy you. We're actually going to use the economy as a weapon of war. Go to lancewallnau.com/public square. If you've got a business, put it on the map, because we're going to give you our business. Now let's get into this powerful show. Welcome to the Lance Wallnau Show, also known as Firewall on Real America's Voice. I always like the Saturday spot before Steve Bannon, Steve Bannon. Enjoy listening to Steve. And I find that maybe this story is one he wasn't able to cover this week because he's been so focused on the Washington shutdown. Have you been aware that Russel Brand, who I've been extolling as another one of those like Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan types, that is moving more and more to the right all the time, constantly, as his eyes are open, this raging, hilarious, irreverent liberal is sounding a lot more, what do you know, like one of us.
Hello there. Let's talk about spirituality, particularly in the form of these tattoos. I got this tattoo done recently of Jesus Christ, the symbol of the resurrection, the possibility for divine God consciousness to be expressed through mankind. Whether or not you identify as a Christian, meaning you believe that Christ is the Son of God, or one particular branch of the Christian theology is the answer to the problem of being alive and dying and that Christ rose again. For me, that's not where I go with religion, because you'll notice just on this arm is Ganesh from the Vedic philosophy, and Over here there's a Sikh symbol, and just over here that's West Ham United. There's all manner of deities and symbols and signs adorning my body, primarily because I believe in what Aldous Huxley called perennialism, that divinity, the sublime, that which is transcendent of material, that which pertains to our awareness as individuals and as a collective, can be found through certain practices, whether those practices are psychedelic experiences, meditative experiences, experiences of devotional love and service, that we can connect to the oneness, the fraternity, the human family through certain ways of life and systems. Not necessarily systems of belief. I've heard belief described as a thought that you like having. I like having this thought. Yes, I love Jesus Christ. Yes, I love Ganesh and Krishna and all of the prophets, because for me it seems that the prophets all convey one message. We are here. We are going to die. Love is the most important thing. Separateness is an illusion. We are all one.
That's what she said.
There is a greater purpose than the fulfillment of our materialistic individual needs. These are the things that I believe in.
So surely he got himself in trouble with, just like Tucker, just like every one of them, he now discovered that you are the darling of the left as long as you are not speaking about exposing the corporate America collusion with government, big government, suppression of truth, and media manipulation. He has got himself in some trouble. Now they're going back into the archives, kind of like they did with Trump with the Access Hollywood video. They're going back a decade ago to a time when he admitted he had a sex addiction and a problem he had to get out of. Gets his life together and is trying to walk in an enlightened path. You know, he always welcomes 6.5 million awakening wonders, and now they're trying to tear him limb from limb, discredit him, embarrass him, humiliate him, smear him, and deplatform him and demonetize him, as they do to anyone who defects from their narrative. I have the luxury of being branded by the left as a kind of a delirious right-wing Christian fanatic who's known for wanting the bad boys to join our side. I call them bad boy billionaires. I was praying for Elon Musk and Donald Trump and these various guys, and sure enough, man, Elon has been coming over. He did us a big service, I think, with X, and you know Donald Trump, the service he's provided to us. And now I'm really calling for this bad boy to come on over. Red Rover, 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 Red Rover. We call Russel Brand over. Thank you, son. All right, let's go. I want you to see what Russell has to say about his recent traumas.
I want to say I raped someone once.
But yeah, you know, you got the insecurity.
I killed her after. All things are ultimately energy, vibration, frequency. That's sexual vibration. Don't do that, I don't think, in front of children. Jury's still out, is it? Do we know?
But back to the ancient Greeks, they'd have said that's all right.
They didn't mind it. They was clever, weren't they? Coming up with triangles every few seconds. I've done another triangle. Little kid. This is great. Kid with a triangle. Hey, that's too much.
Now, during that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual. I was always transparent about that then, almost too transparent.
Some questions that will be that have elicited and have been elicited from our audience. Excuse me. See Sound of Freedom. What does this mean? The success of this movie? Does it mean that you can now bypass?
I really, I want children quite a lot. I want children quite a lot. I want children quite a lot. To the point of, like, getting involved in other people's children. And like sort of hijacking children.
These are my friends' children from near where I live, Dolly and Frankie. Come here, you two. Don't be scared or nothing.
They look shy, but it's
Don't
all
act
right.
like you've not met me. Sit down. Be normal.
Hi.
There they are.
So tell me about these two.
These two children are friends of mine that live near me. I'm friends with their mum, and I love them quite a lot. Frankie, do you love me a little bit?
He does. Well done. He does.
Do you think I'm a nice person? Do you know Lorraine? You watch Lorraine on the telly sometimes, don't you?
Oh, it's lovely to see you.
Don't be shy, darling.
Look, are you going to stand as London Mayor? Gosh, you would be some London Mayor. It's so funny.
Yeah, that's how, if I was going to run for mayor, I would run under the slogan, Russel Brand will look after your children. If I was going to run for mayor, I would run under the slogan, Russel Brand will look after your children. Russel Brand will look after your children.
Thank you for coming in. Good luck with everything that you do.
Dolly.
And give these children back to their mother, would you?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Give these children back to their mother, would you?
Russel Brand will look after your children. Behind all material information, there is a sublime divine realm. We know this from quantum physics, that all of the stuff that we can see emerges from a world that's harder for us to know with our material senses. Your consciousness lives inside of Wendy Williams, but it's connected to all consciousness. Now we must transform, become enlightened, so that we so that we can access the next realm of consciousness, necessary for our evolution. We are manifesting this reality. And it comes from thought and from inner frequencies. Consciousness is an amorphous and expanding entity. I think that we allow our consciousness to be prohibited by our senses, prescribed by our senses, living in the realm of these 5 apertures into our reality. But reality is limitless. Space is infinite. I choose to believe in God because I think what that is the recognition that there is divine beauty in all of us, and if we prioritise that over our own selfish material needs, then we will naturally create a culture more in harmony with our planet and we'll have a chance.
You sound like a sort of New Age prophet, you know.
Prophet, you say?
Yes.
Jon Snow there just said that I sound like a New Age prophet. All these things are just ideas. America, just an idea. England, just an idea. Karate, just an idea. Wednesday, just an idea.
What about reptilian overlord aliens?
Definite real thing. I mean, I don't know about the old reptilian overlord aliens. On some level, they are just a sort of a frequency of vibration, like us. And I try not to worry too much about the reptilian overlords because in case they're watching, and I am hoping to get a part-time job in the Illuminati. I think, for me, mate, I think that all we have to do is not worry too much about that. That's just iconography. God is a continual decision that we make in the present. Yes, there is a set of prescripts, texts, scriptures, edicts, commandments, etc. All of the, the sort of the liturgies and ephemera of religion. But most significantly, God happens now with us. God is happening. And the thing that trapped my mind, that my mind has been spiraling around ever since I heard it, is that if we do not live good, if we do not enact God, he has no hands but these, then there is no God. That we can create the grossness of the Kali Yuga or the Kali or whatever they call it. That sound like a New Age prophet. What is the relevance of the resurrection of Christ to some guy 2,000 years ago if we are not constantly resurrected into the moment anew? I think what Christianity is referring to with this resurrection myth, is that the dead human ape has fulfilled its potential. The dead human ape has not evolved for the last 10,000 years. These are the achievements of the dead human ape. Now we must transform, become enlightened, so that we can access the next realm of consciousness necessary for our evolution.
Your cat had an incident, so you didn't really follow what was going on with the election.
It's a matter of priorities, Conan.
Okay, I apologize. Did you root for one candidate over another? Did you care really at all?
Was the Queen on the ballot?
No. Do you prefer monarchy to our democracy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because she's ever so kind. Look at those girls with different colour hair from everyone else.
Yeah, look at that. They really stand out, those two girls right there. Give them a hand.
They're standing out. They're just sat there like that, and why is no one troubling their fallopian tubes? We could make others inside of those.
You're so filled with magic and wonder.
Yeah, I am. Do you mind if I briefly just go and impregnate one or both of those?
No!
So somewhere along the line, you were under the impression that if you were a mailman, you would have a lot of sex.
That we're all affected by, whether we know it or not. Well, as a mailman, sex will be everywhere for me. 0% success rate, and then I just resorted to stealing letters.
In this book of the law, Crowley set down the chief principle for what he called the new eon. He wrote, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt."
I'm going to be going out on a limb to say stuff that causes trouble. I'm going to be going out on a limb to say stuff that causes trouble. Graham Hancock, he's out there, that guy. He's saying that we should access new realms of consciousness through psychedelics, then bring that information back to our society and evolve together.
He, more so than any other human being, was instrumental in the popularization of the New Age movement. Altered states of consciousness, trying to make altered states of consciousness scientific through whether it be hallucinogens and seeing reality different, whether it was drugs, whether it was astrology or the practice of ritual magic, whether it was sex magic, whether it was his ideas of world unity through whether it be hallucinogens and seeing reality different, whether it was drugs.
Graham Hancock, he's out there, that guy. He's saying that we should access new realms of consciousness through psychedelics, then
bring that information back to our society and evolve together.
That does sound like a New Age prophet.
You don't believe in democracy. You want a revolution, don't you?
The planet is being destroyed. We are creating an underclass.
But I'm not having a go at you because you want a revolution. Many people want a revolution, but I'm asking you what it would be like. What's the scheme? You talk vaguely about revolution. What is it?
I think a socialist egalitarian system based on the massive redistribution of wealth. Shouldn't destroy the planet. The planet is being destroyed. And so why would anyone vote for it? I think we do need to, there needs to be a centralised administrative system, but built on...
Yes, there needs to be a government.
Well, we might maybe call it something else. Call them like the admin bods. Jeremy, don't ask me to sit here in an interview with you in a bloody hotel room and devise a global utopian system. I'm merely pointing out that
You're calling for revolution.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be going out on a limb to say stuff that causes trouble.
1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms.
But the thing is, revolution tends to not be peaceful in the general sense of the word. People will get hurt. Do you want that to be your people? Are you willing to get hurt for this revolution? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to endure? What are you willing to inflict?
Blavatsky's House of Theosophy would formalize what began as the New Thought movement into a religious system that would dramatically change the Western view of God and his relationship to mankind. Theosophical teachings argued for the essential oneness of all religions and the omnipresence of divine spirit. Theosophy declares that it was formed upon the basis of a universal brotherhood of humanity.
The idea that the evolutionary process itself was morally good. And then as I began investigating these issues of eugenics and euthanasia, I started seeing a lot of connections between evolutionary ethics and Nazism.
This is one of the major streams of that contributed to this thought, or how would you put it?
Yes, I would say that. I would say it's a very major aspect of it, but it's not the only one. There were other elements, nationalism, anti-Semitism, other things that fed into the stream. But Darwinism was a very important one. It actually was the one that sort of helped to integrate some of the other components into a sort of coherent worldview.
Hence, the folk concept of the world is in profound accord with nature's will, because it restores the free play of the forces which will lead the race through stages of sustained reciprocal education toward a higher type, until finally the best portion of mankind will possess the earth, and will be free to work in every domain all over the world, and even reach spheres that lie outside the earth. Now, the greater and more revolutionary a doctrine is, so much more active will be the spirit inspiring its body of its members, because the subversive energy of such a doctrine will frighten away the chicken-hearted and small-minded bourgeoisie. An organization inspired by a veritable revolutionary idea will attract into the body of its membership only the most active of those believers who have been won for it by its propaganda. Put in another way, this means that in every great revolutionary movement that is of world importance, the idea of this movement must always be spread abroad through the operation of propaganda. The propagandist must never tire in his efforts to make the new ideas clearly understood, inculcating them among others, or at least he must place himself in the position of those others and endeavor to upset their confidence in the convictions they have hitherto held. A revolutionary conception of the world and human existence will always achieve decisive success when the new Weltanschauung, which means worldview essentially, has been taught to a whole people, or subsequently forced upon them if necessary. And when, on the other hand, the central organization, the movement itself, is in the hands of only those few men who are absolutely indispensable to form the nerve centers of the coming state. Yeah, he was a big, fat New Ager. He sounds like Alice Bailey.
It does sound like a New Age prophet. It does sound like a New Age prophet. It does sound like a New Age prophet.
I'm a dangerous man. Oh, I'm a dangerous man. Oh, yeah. Lay down your sleepy head, rub your eyes, get out of bed. Wake up!
Run.
Just one name that can keep you out of hell, and it's the name of Jesus. Name of Jesus.